All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a completely impromptu and extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? Current video. This video I'm recording the day that I release it. Because there's something I want to talk about, and it has to do with what prompted me to do this video is the fact that, as many of you know, with my series, I pre-record. I'm pre-recording most videos at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance, just because it's helping me keep my schedule a little bit relaxed, and it gives me time to do things, and I'm not stressed about trying to hit deadlines, which I already mentioned, at the beginning of the series, that I have been releasing weekly. I do like to try to be consistent, but I may not always be able to maintain that. But at any rate, I'm trying to, this buffering, I went the wrong way. Oh boy. This buffering of pre-recorded videos, while it doesn't allow me to necessarily respond to comments, on a weekly basis within the videos, sort of on time or whatever, but it does allow me to I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought. It allows me to keep things moving. All I want to do is come down here and mine. This is not a building video. This is not a regular video by any means. This video is in response to what's happening currently in the world. So this is an unedited video. I'm going to have to edit out sort of morning coughs and throat clearing and stuff like that. That's just the way. It's the way. I'm going to have to do a little bit of editing, but I really am not planning to edit this very much at all. Put those in there. I just figured I would come down here and mine for some redstone. I don't even want diamonds. I want redstone. Yeah. And also, no spoilers for what's coming up in the next couple of videos, which have already been completed, and which is why I'm doing this video. So, as we all probably know, there's a war going on, in the Ukraine, and a friend of mine yesterday on the phone mentioned something that I thought was pretty interesting, and it encapsulated something I had been thinking about since this activity has started in the Ukraine, and that is emotional whiplash, and this idea that when we jump onto social media or YouTube. I'm specifically referring to YouTube here because I don't really use other social medias, but I believe that I'm trying to do math in my head here about when I put my torches down. Oh boy, 45. I put it down at 20. So yeah, the idea that, and I'm not supposed to be using Silk Touch down here anyway. Yeah, emotional whiplash. Let me get to that. This is a very rambly video. Again, like I said, it's just me on the fly, and I wanted to get this out. I wanted to just get it out there now, because the combination of me posting pre-recorded videos that have been recorded pretty far in advance, and world events happening, and this notion of emotional whiplash, which is what is that? He described it, as how he logs into social media, and it's like, we know there's a war going on. We know that there are some terrible things being done. We know that the people are suffering on both sides of this conflict, and we know that in general in the world there's always, unfortunately, always terrible things going on somewhere, right? I mean, that's the nature of the universe that we live in, and humans are extremely resilient creatures, and we're adaptable, and we can really adapt and deal with a lot of things in strange ways. And so the idea that you log into YouTube, or I log into YouTube, you know, and I can see in my, you know, the news feed all the reports of what's happening in a literal war that's going on. And it's really disconcerting, at least to me. It's just disconcerting to see like a modern first world city being bombed and having tanks roll through it. I mean, it's really disconcerting. Like, it's very strange. To me, you know, I feel like we, you know, take for granted our modern society, that, you know, classic warfare just really couldn't or shouldn't be happening because we're just so civilized and everything, right? And so it's very strange, you know, to see like a city that any of us could live in, that you know, or anything like that, and there are tanks rolling through it, and you know, things happening that are, you know, seemingly insane. Now, that's coupled with this idea that we see all this stuff in our social media, and juxtaposed next to it is our normal feeds. Like, all the normal Minecrafters are putting out normal Minecraft videos. You know, all the oh boy, getting my train of thought here is nuts. Maybe I should have actually just recorded this without trying to just mine. I thought mining would be a simple sort of mindless thing, and it's seeming not to be. But anyway, the idea that, you know, I go into my YouTube page, my YouTube feed, and you know, I've got regular Minecraft videos to watch from YouTubers that I enjoy watching, and then those thumbnails are juxtaposed next to all these things about what's going on in Ukraine, and you know, and that this war in Ukraine is affecting, you know, it's affecting a lot of Europeans, like much more than it is those of us here in the U.S., just because we're so far removed from it. So yeah, it's a weird thing. It's basically like creates this sort of emotional whiplash, in a way, because we don't really know. Like, I don't know. I see all these normal videos, and it's kind of like, I always wonder, well, wait a minute, like, why are we not commenting? And should we comment on this? And of course, you know, probably not in these normal videos. So, you know, it's just a weird thing. It's just really strange. It's really strange to just do something fun and, you know, I mean, relatively unimportant to the human society, you know, like a Minecraft video. And yet there are people suffering in very, very real ways, and things that are threatening, you know, people's psychological states, wherever they are in the world. It's very strange to me to just kind of be living through this right now. And I definitely wanted to, part of this was I wanted to comment on the fact that, yeah, I have regular videos that I recorded 2 or 3 weeks ago before anything happened that I don't comment on, or I you know, or I don't acknowledge. And I wanted to let you know that I just want to remind everyone that my videos are pre-recorded, and that, you know, that's why I'm not really talking about it. But then at the same time, it's kind of a question of, well, would I be talking about that stuff anyway, when basically what I'm making is sort of escapist content anyway? And so, no, I probably wouldn't, but I would, you know, in my intros or outros, definitely acknowledge what's going on. You know, I would say something. And so this video is kind of, I guess, my attempt to do that. But it's also an attempt to maybe just talk with you guys, and just because I know that psychologically a lot of people are feeling pain and going through things, and I just wanted to put out there, I can't really put out like an uplifting message because, I don't know how much there is uplifting to be found in situations like this. But I just wanted people to know that I am aware of what's going on, even if I don't mention it, in my videos that come up. I am aware. I am totally aware of the fact that, in this particular conflict, it's not only the people in Ukraine that are suffering. The people in Russia are suffering. The general public do not want what's going on. They've been it's their government has been doing things that they don't control. And it's been really hard on those people. I mean, imagine that you lived, to a certain extent, we all live in a society where people in control do things that, or people that are in the government of a society, or the government is doing things that the regular people may or may not, want to have anything to do with. And that's just the way of the world. But then it's really, really gnarly when it comes to the level of war. You know what I mean? Like if you lived in a country and your government went out and started causing pain and havoc in another country that you really don't want to have anything to do with, that you yourself don't approve of, but you have no way of, changing the course of how that, you have no way to affect what your government is doing. That's got to be even worse. Like at least here in sort of democratic, states, we sort of live under at least the illusion sometimes of the idea that we can maybe have some kind of minimal effect on something at some point. And to be fair, here in the U.S., and most other countries that are like or similar to the U.S. in government, we can at least go out as individuals and we can protest if we really feel strongly about something, and we can have the right to protest. And having the right to protest is one of the huge benefits of living in this type of government or whatever. I'm not using very technical terms because, as you know, I'm not a very technical person. So when, the individuals in Russia that are in the general public, they don't have that option necessarily. Now we can see now that, this is how crazy what's going on now really is, where you can really see the depths of what the humanity, of what the general public in Russia is being pushed to, because Russia does not, and I want to be very clear. I'm not trying to push my beliefs or my, whatever desires or the way I think on anyone else. Everyone's got to make their own choices and their own decisions. But as far as I understand, is that in Russia, it's very, very difficult to protest, to the point that you just don't. You just don't. Because if you try to protest in Russia, you just go to prison. Like, that's all that happens. And some of this I've learned from watching, this is kind of weird, but in the next video that's coming out, my scheduled video, I do my sort of talk of the day or whatever in my discussion or topic of the week in the next video is just going through and recommending YouTubers that I like. And I spent about 20 minutes just sort of talking about 25 different YouTubers and recommending their channels. And one of those channels just happened to be, and I recorded this weeks ago, happens to be called Minimal Russian Girl. And it's just a very interesting, to me, sort of daily vlog from a regular Russian person living in Russia and sort of what their life is like. And I just find it really fascinating. And so she has a video released and she sort of expresses she's expressing what I just expressed, which is because I learned it from her, whereas she's like, yeah, the general Russian public does not only not approve, of what's going on, but they don't want any of this, of this craziness happening, this aggression towards Ukraine. And, yeah, so it's just an interesting thing. So, and she explained how, like, yeah, in Russia, you don't protest because you just go to prison, and that's all there is to it. So there's not really any, they don't have a lot of alternatives there. So, anyway, yeah, this is just a crazy video where I'm just rambling about the idea that when you go onto social media, we can see, headlines and videos of this crazy war going on next to, a regular video of Minecraft, a regular video of, hey, I'm playing around in a video game. It's just so weird, right? It's just so strange that, yeah, there's this terrible stuff going on. And yet we just sort of, I'm not saying ignore it, but it is weird to see frivolous videos alongside videos that are literally like sort of at the core of the strife in humanity, warfare. There's nothing really worse than straight all out, aggressive warfare. Not that there's non-aggressive warfare. I mean, I guess all warfare. But anyway, so I just wanted to talk about it. I wanted to chat and just put it out there because I know a lot of people are probably feeling the same thing. I don't see how, I don't see any way around it, around feeling this weird, disconnect between what we're seeing as our content from our favorite content makers and then what we're seeing in the world around us. And at some point, in some situations, I don't know. At some point, some situations could get bad enough to where, we have to like ignore or stop putting out the frivolous content, and we'd have to go to work doing other stuff to try to make the world, livable again. So that is a possibility. That is, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just sort of rambling, and I probably shouldn't have done this as a recording while I try to actually do something in this game. I probably should have done my normal, or I should have done the thing where I just recorded some footage and chatted about, and then put a voiceover, because it would have helped me be more concise and clear. But again, I didn't feel like I wanted to record something for a while without talking, and then, do this whole like, come back and record stuff. I think I overshot my central mining hallway here, which I think is somewhere in here. Oh, there's water. Why is there water in here? So anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. I wanted to talk about that and let you know that I feel just as weird as you do by posting videos that don't mention anything that's going on. I don't really know what to do about that. I do feel like, the general consensus, I think, that a lot of YouTubers will make, a lot of entertainers or whatever will make, is the idea that, hey, I'm going to maybe just keep posting the videos so that there is a break in something to alleviate, some entertainment that you can still watch, so you can still rely on to escape from maybe, some of the terribleness that is out there. And that's totally fine. If that's a valid thing, that's totally fine. And of course, I'm going to continue posting, I guess, my pre-recorded videos as they are. So it'll be a couple weeks before you start to see me mention anything in my intros or outros about the political state of things. I mean, I'm not going to get into politics, but I mean, mention the fact that, people are being hurt in ways that are terrible, and there's no way to not mention it. For me, there's just no way to not mention it. And I need to mention it in ways that are completely apolitical. I have no agenda as beyond just trying to be human, You know what I mean? Like just trying to be human and be empathetic to anyone anywhere in the world and what they're going through. And that's why I do want to like make a point of the fact that the psychological suffering that is going on is not just, relegated to one side of a conflict. It is happening to people on both sides, and that's even more terrible. It just all sucks. It just all sucks. But there's no way to not talk about it because it affects, everyone. We're all sort of affected tangentially from what's happening. And I don't for one second ever forget that, even when there isn't like an all out war going on, that there is just, mountains of terribleness happening everywhere in the world all the time. But, when we kind of have like a threshold, right? There's like a threshold of acceptance and a threshold of what we can, just go about it and consider everyday life. And everyday life contains horribleness. It just does. It contains joy and excitement and wonder in equal measure. And I really do think that is, like I've mentioned before, I do feel like that is kind of how the universe functions. There is no perfect utopia. Perfection in our world is really just, it kind of is what it is already. It is already sort of quote unquote perfect. It's a balancing act that makes reality sort of go. But when things get really heavy, then there are changes. There are ways to I don't know how to phrase things. I have to like stop doing things so I can think about my words, which is something that's hard to do when I'm actively like playing a game. But even this is ridiculous. That I'm talking about this talking about what's happening right now while playing a game. It's so crazy. But our world is crazy. I mean, it is weirdly crazy. And I don't mean crazy in like terrible ways all the time. Sometimes it's crazy in wonderful ways and just weirdly, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird that right now there could be this war going on and people that are maybe, adjacent, like physically adjacent to that war, and nearby countries could still be playing a game, that might ease their psychological, the way that they deal with that in their heads and stuff. And I don't know, maybe it's helpful. Maybe it's not. I don't really know. I don't know the answers to these things. But it's really hard for me not to, it's really hard to not basically, at this point, it's like an elephant in the room, sort of thing. And it's like, we got to talk about it. We got to mention it. We got to let it breathe. We got to give it some space and we got to acknowledge it. Trying to not acknowledge it is as sort of a fool's game to me. It's just sort of, detrimental in the long run. So anyway, the bottom line is I just wanted to talk about those few things, and I wanted to offer, just the notion that it's really, really grim sometimes in life. And I don't know, it's really frivolous for me to say things like, hey, it's grim now, but it won't always be grim. That could be ostensibly true, but how long it takes for something to become not grim could be a long time. It could be really, really terrible. I don't know how long anything will last. I don't know what the reaction, I don't know what, hardly anyone knows what the actual sort of fallout from all of this is going to be. We don't know how it's going to turn out. But I do feel really, I just had to say something. I just wanted to talk about it and just open it. We can open a discussion. We can talk about things. People can let their feelings out. This could be, everyone needs a little bit of therapy sometimes, basically. And therapy is just sort of talking about things and getting things out into the open. and acknowledging things. You got to acknowledge terrible things. We can't like hide things and sweep them under the rug and act like they don't exist, because that I think erodes our souls as well, you know, and our mental capacity and stuff. There's obviously, I could talk about this for hours, right? We could sit and have a discussion. If we were on a live stream, we could chat about this for days. And obviously we're not going to do that. But anyway, I just wanted to say that my heart goes out to both the people of Ukraine and the people of Russia, and additionally the people in the surrounding areas. My heart goes out to the people in Europe. My heart goes out to basically the world. You know, I know there's like nothing that I could personally materially do to help the situation in really any way. I know there are some charities that are forming that people can send either money or maybe I don't know. I know there are charities being set up that can get humanitarian aid into Ukraine and surrounding areas. And so that's maybe something, you know, if you're looking for something like that to help contribute, I might be doing that myself. Yeah, I don't really, you know, I know there's nothing material I can do to help anybody anywhere in any real way that means anything. But I don't know. I had to talk about this. I had to talk about it because it's so real and it's so crazy, and it's just and it's something that we're all affected by. So I just wanted you to know that I know that we are all affected by this. And if you're feeling bad, if you're feeling, you know, upset or depressed, there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's literally how probably you should be feeling. It is like how we should be reacting. And I don't really have any words of honest, true, you know, encouragement that don't sound cliche and trite and everything else. And the number one thing is I'm not there. I'm, you know, quote unquote safe here in California. I'm living in a luxurious life, you know, compared relatively to somebody that's in a city that has bombs being dropped on it and tanks rolling down the street, and where their only option is like, hey, I might have to go pick up a gun or go, you know, brave the combat zones to provide first aid or whatever else in their own sovereign space. I mean, I don't know what that's like. I've never known what that's like. I can't speak to that. I know that I'm talking from a position of irrelevancy. I understand that. And so I don't know what else. There's nothing, I can't change that really. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but there it is. But anyway, for those of us that are that are cushioned from this, that are far away from it, that whole idea of going on to social media and you're one, you know, it's just this weird feeling of like, hey, there's somebody, you know, doing a Minecraft video about, you know, this cool house they built or this thing, and it's fun and exciting. And then the next video over is like, holy cow, you know, war is happening in straight up sort of first world countries, and it's very strange. And it has to be psychologically discombobulating. It has to be unbalancing in some way. I know it is. And it's going to affect a lot of people in different ways. So, okay, I've rambled for long enough. I think you guys get the point, which the point is not necessarily, I don't know what the point of I don't know what the point is of me making this point or even talking about this, but I don't know. I just wanted to put it out there and talk about it and open it up for discussion. If you guys want to say anything you want, you say whatever you want in the comments. It's totally fine. I will continue to post the videos that I have ready to go. They're already scheduled, and they will continue to come out. And I don't know what's going to happen going forward in the next, you know, few weeks. I don't really know, but but I'll continue to post videos, I guess, because I continue to play Minecraft. I don't know. This is just a very strange situation. The more I drill down into it, the weirder I feel. The weirder I feel. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great. It's so strange. I hope you have a great day. Today, that sounds super, super weird to say. I have to retract that, but I said I wasn't going to edit anything except coughs and whatever. So that's what I'm going to stick to that, and I'm going to retract that statement. And I'm going to say that I hope that anyone out there watching this or anybody, I just hope you are okay. I hope you are okay. Okay is a relative term. So anyway, I hope you are okay. I hope your loved ones are okay. I don't have anything else to offer, but I don't know. It just seems to get really cheesy really quick and kind of dumb. So I'll just call it here. I hope you guys I hope you guys are okay. I hope everyone is okay. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the comments in future videos and everything else. And I hope things go. I hope things go better than we hope they're gonna go. I mean, we can always hope, right? Anyway, take care, guys, and I'll see you. In a few days with another video. All right, see ya.